And we're back and we're here. Another one. How you guys doing? Epic Lunch and Learn. Welcome, everybody. It is episode 37, and we're with Sharde with Meritage Homes in Jacksonville, Florida. Sharde, can you hear me? I think she's trying to work that out. I can hear you. I can hear you. But she's struggling to hear me. Technology. Well, we always talk about technology. We'll get it. We'll get it. How are you? Just nothing. I don't know if she can see me. I don't know. I don't understand how this technology works sometimes, but we are here. We were going to go over some new construction homes in Jacksonville, Florida, that she's got listed. She's a part of some of our preferred listings that we have. And so we're going to do that and get that going. Sometimes it seems simple, but it's not always. It's not always simple. Not sure what is going on. So bear with us, but hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing fine. Can you hear me? Can she see me? Can you see? I don't know. Hello? Nothing? Can you see? No? I don't know. I don't know if she can see me, hear me. But hey, we'll figure it out. We're going to get it done. We're going to figure it out. Not a problem. But yeah, we got Sharde Nix with us. We're going to talk about just real estate, new construction. It's interesting. New construction is not a thing that I necessarily grew up with. It was more of a thing that, I've kind of paid attention to over the years. But, I just want to learn a little bit deeper into new construction. Are you there? Can you hear me? Sharde, can you hear me? She can't hear me. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. I'm going to even try to call her. But hope everyone's doing good. Sorry for this technology is always annoying sometimes. Just want it to work. That's all I do. I just want it to work. Can you hear me? Mm-hmm. I'm talking to you live on the. Do you see me at all?
You see me at all? I do not see you. It's been popping like a flame. See what's on the login.
So you're on stage. We're streaming live.
Good morning or afternoon, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time for some lunch. I don't something might be with your computer. Something about your connection. Because we hear you fine.
The connection seems to be fine.
We see you, we hear you, but you don't hear me. You don't see me.
I don't see you.
And that's a problem. I don't know what the little buttons can do. Edit my settings.
Yeah, it's having trouble connecting. This is because any storage or any connection, if you're only Wi-Fi, my login room, or login what's to.
Yeah, I probably say you want to log off and then try to log back in. Maybe that might be the thing. I don't know. Reboot your computer. All right. So I'm going to take you off stage. You reboot, and then you come back on. All right. So we'll go ahead and flow with this just for right now. Stuff like this happens. You got to adjust. Typically in real estate, right? I mean, things don't always go the way as planned. In a picture perfect world, you find a house, you like it, you get under contract, you do a couple inspections, appraisal, and then voila, you have the house, it's yours, and it's easy breezy. But for most people, they don't have it that easy. You get under contract, you do a home inspection, and then all of a sudden, you are being introduced to all these things that you weren't aware of on this house. Oh my God, what is this? There's mold in the crawl space. Oh my God, this patch. Oh, I didn't even pay attention. It's amazing to me Been doing this for some while, 2 decades now, but it's amazing to me when we get these houses, we get under contract, and we don't even recognize or realize just what our eyes are looking at. When we go into a house for the first time, your eyes may be focused on, the kitchen or the bathroom or the big screen TV, or you're envisioning where your kids are going to be playing. But you don't necessarily see all those little things that can make a big deal. They can make a big deal. The little cracks in the foundation. What is that? Is that just the earth moving, or is there a structural foundation issue? And we've dealt with that. Obviously I've dealt with that. We've had to have structural engineers come in and give an analysis of, is that just, the earth moving, or is there something bigger? Is there termite damage? For some, I don't even know what a termite looks like, but for others, we know what a track looks like. We see it with mold. You walk in, and sometimes the longer someone has lived in a house, it feels like they're just used to it. They might be used to a certain smell or odor. They might be used to a certain, just dog hair or cat hair, that they're just like, oh, isn't that everybody? Or, some people smoke, right? Sometimes I see people that are smoking cigarettes. I'm like, man, they still make people to smoke, but they do. Quite a few people still smoke. Obviously, it's still, I'm sure it's a $1 billion, $1 trillion industry. And so with that being said, it's a situation where things that you didn't see the first time could show up. How about now? Do you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yes, we did it.
Okay. Trash. They talk about Apple products all the time, but the HP was, yes, being disrespectful. So I'm on an Apple product right now. My iPad.
Oh, okay.
Changing platforms. Yeah.
It's weird because we fight sometimes. I'm an Android guy. And then we got the Apple products, and I'm like, what scared me was looking at Apple stores and seeing those long lines. And I was like, I never want to be in that line.
I've never been in that line.
Whew.
I've never waited in that line. I don't have the patience for it.
Neither do I.
But yeah, the products, they just, my personal stuff is all Apple stuff. My work stuff is, I take what they give me. So yeah, and it gives me the most challenges. It's like, okay, the downside.
But you're here.
Yeah,
we did it.
I'm here. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you today. And I look forward to you taking me on a tour. And what I wanted to do, let's let the audience know just who you are and what you do, and then we'll start from there.
Absolutely. Sharde Nix. Here in Jacksonville, Florida. I am one of the representatives who assist you with becoming a new homeowner. And I also work very well with Realtor partners. Those are my main connections in partnering with you to make sure you're in a new home. So I'm here no matter which direction. I have a lot of people who just are new to the journey of home ownership. So I'd like to partner with you and or your realtor to help you make that dream become a reality.
Awesome. And why don't we talk about that? I mean, what makes you so passionate about, just real estate in general? How did you get into the business? I always like hearing that story.
Yeah. How long you got? I've always been someone who found value in educating people and helping them with a goal that they're looking to accomplish. I've been doing the real estate sales for a little over 8 years now. And prior to that, I was doing insurance sales. So I've always been someone who's helping people secure something that would bring value to their life, in my opinion. So home ownership and real estate, that's one of the fastest way to wealth. And prior to that, with the insurance sales, that was me making sure that they're securing their family. Again, another avenue of generational wealth. So I noticed that was a theme, and a lot of people, there's a lot of questions and unknown things that there's fear because they just don't know and don't have anyone who's able to communicate with them in a way that they felt comfortable asking the questions that are normal questions, realistic questions, and needing someone who's patient enough to actually be transparent and share with them what they need to know to accomplish the goals that they have in a way that is palatable and not smacking them upside the head and all of the things.
Some people like to talk here, and I'm like, but I'm right here.
Yeah.
But
Meet
they
me
like
where
to
me at.
stay here. Exactly.
Meet me where I am. Break
Yeah.
it down, and sometimes, hey, explain it to me where I'll be able to not just understand it, but also remember it for the next time, so I can share it with someone else.
Oh,
Right?
that's
So
awesome.
you share someone else too. And sometimes it's connecting the parts that you're more comfortable with. Once you learn it and you got it, you're able to help the next person too. Because I've
Sure.
experienced it. Like when I bought my first home, it's like there's a lot of questions that I had. I was the first person in my family to have purchased a home, and I had questions.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I had questions. I didn't have anyone I can turn to that I quote unquote trusted. So I went at it alone, starting with credit repair and stuff like that because I was just younger. I hadn't seen it modeled for me. So got connected to the right people who had a teacher's heart, who were willing to take the time to walk me through that process. And like, you know what? I found a lot of value in this, and I want to continue to give value to people. And help them to be able to look back and say, hey, Sharde brought value to my life, and she helped me. She helped me to get to my goal and accomplish something that I thought was probably far off. That a lot of people, they don't have the vision, or they can't see the vision to put one foot in front of the next to actually accomplish the goal that they're saying they want. So I like to
What
kind of help them with that.
what do you think are some misconceived notions just in real estate in general?
Um,
What are some misconceived things that kind of pop up on you on the regular?
the main thing is that they can't afford a home. That it's going to be scary. It's going to be easier to just continue to rent. Um, Trying to think of the things that popped up in my head. It's a lot of responsibility. Yes, but we're adults. We're adults. So there's some adulting that comes with it, and responsibility. Credit is another thing. A lot of people have a misconception that they have to have 20% down. There's so many programs out there that are available to people to help them and make it more affordable. A lot of people, especially as it relates to new construction, they think, hey, I have to go with this 7%, not understanding that there's avenues like what you and I talked about. I have monies that we're able to get into your a buyer's hands to help make it easier for you to buy down the interest rate for them, to get it at a lower interest rate for them, for us to be able to partner and say, hey, Dante, they've got $20,000 that you could use for them to purchase this home that they like. And
Right.
you your magic. Hey, I'll give you the details to be able to share with them. Okay, based off of this, we can get you to the home, and you'd be looking at $2,500 a month, as opposed to maybe $3,000 a month, depending on what they may have been pre-approved with on the market rate side of things. So it's just taking the time to ask the questions too. Hey, I don't understand what you mean by that. Ask the questions, right? I've been able to partner with some really great people, such as yourself, who make it really easy to understand. It's not complicated, and connecting with people who make you comfortable enough to ask the questions that you don't know. I'm mindful that people don't buy homes every single day, or not the same person. Obviously, people are buying homes every day. That's not what I mean to say, but it may be your first time. So I'm going to treat you like, hey, it's your first time, and you let me know if there's any questions. Because more often than not, it's not something that is complicated. People make it complicated.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes, from a realtor perspective and a lender perspective are two different perspectives, obviously, right? One of the issues is they come to you first. The realtor is the one that the buyer wants to go to because you have the sexy product. You have the actually product that they want, right? They want this house. They want to see this beautiful, construction that has been done. They want to see the can lights and all the
All of the
campus,
things.
all the things, all the
Things.
gadgets.
Yeah.
I've always called myself almost the necessary evil, right? I'm the necessary evil of
Mhm.
for 80% of people. they don't have the cash to just
Right.
pay for it for cash.
Right.
20% of people probably do have enough money to just pay cash and move on, or they're selling their house and they're just taking all their proceeds. I had a client that I was working with. They were in Connecticut
Mhm.
and they sold their house, and they're like, "Hey, Dante, you know what? Actually, you're great, but we don't even need you. We're just going to take all the proceeds." We decided to pay cash, and they bought a new home in Texas. So those things happen, but not everyone has that storyline.
Right.
And so for the 80% of people out there, they need some type of financing, and that's where we come in. And we do try to answer those things that, increase the anxiety. Whatever increases anxiety, let's try to temper it. Oh my God, I don't have enough money to buy it. No, we have down payment assistance.
Right.
And
DPA. Yes.
right, we have
And I
DPA.
like other people's money. I mean, I don't know many people
Come
who
on.
want to, like, let's use other people's money. Go ahead and let's get your credit to where it needs to be for you to be able to use other people's money and
No
build
doubt.
off of that. So once you got your first home, I like to house hack it, especially if you're a young single person. Buy that home. Make sure it's at least 3 or 4 bedrooms and rent out those other 2 rooms. Make sure, hey, right now, if you're renting, you're paying 100% interest. Once you get
Correct.
those roommates in there, you only got to go through what? If you did a first FHA type of financing, hey, be there for at least 2 years and then move on to the next. Keep them in there as tenants. That make some mailbox money. Make sure you're sharing enough or spreading that mortgage out enough where they're covering the mortgage. Just think strategically, especially if it's your first home. A lot of people misunderstand or think, hey, I'm buying a home. This is not your last home. It doesn't have to be. I mean, of course, if that's the direction you choose to go into, but it's your first home. It doesn't have to be the last home, right? You're
Sure.
learning to be a homeowner. That's one of the things that I learned about my first home too. I learned is, hey, this is different from being an apartment, right? So it taught me some things. I learned a lot of valuable things, but just be mindful when, especially if it's your first home, it's your first home, not your last home. And oftentimes it's that leverage that you might need to, I'll use myself, for example. I was in my mid-20s and I had student loan debt, and I was able to get connected, as I mentioned earlier, to the right people who educated me. And I thought that my credit needed a lot more work than what it really did, because it was ignorance. I did not know. So once I got connected with the right person, it was like, hey, you're where you can go ahead and get into a home. Let's start looking for your home. Fast forward, I moved into that home, closed on that home, was in that home for about 5 years, long enough for equity to build on that home and make it where I then sold that home and was able to use the equity that had accumulated over those 5 years and pay off all of my student loan debts.
Wow.
So basically putting me in a situation to win. A lot of people, you're renting, it's 100% interest. And depending on where they are, it's like, hey, yeah, it's not an ideal situation. If you know you have a family that's growing too, it's like, let's put the money where it has the opportunity to grow.
Sure, no doubt. Was that a refinance or did you sell? You
I
sold the
sold.
first.
I
Okay,
sold.
so you sold the first house, and then you took, I imagine, some proceeds to buy a new one.
No, I did not. I actually moved to Texas for a brief moment, but neither here
Got it.
nor there.
Got
That's
it.
a smart option too. Had I knew what I now know, I
Sure.
would have just taken the equity out of the home, paid off the debt, instead of doing what I did, having sold the home. That prior to me getting my license, I didn't ask all of the questions that I now know that I should have asked when I was buying my first home. So
Like what?
having
Give me some of those questions.
more details as far as how FHA financing works as
Okay.
opposed to conventional loans, how they
Sure.
work, and all of the innuendos that I did not know. Primarily, I asked a partially right question. Okay, will I be able to get rid of this private mortgage insurance? It's basically
Right.
insurance on the money that you're borrowing. I
Hmm.
asked that question. They said yes. That was honest, but it wasn't transparent. The other part of that should have been communicated to me first, who I asked the question to,
Hmm.
right? I should have asked the mortgage loan officer. I should have asked someone like you, a mortgage loan officer, right?
Sure.
And I don't believe it was my realtor's intention, but she gave me a response that was not completely transparent. It was
Right.
honest, but not transparent. And I believe I felt like she should have directed me back to you or my
Sure.
mortgage loan officer to get clarity when I felt like my intentions were clear. My goal was to remove the private mortgage insurance. What was missing from that response, yes, you'll be able to remove the private mortgage insurance. However, it may require you to refinance the home.
Correct.
To do so. That part was missing from that response that was given. So
Yeah, it's one of the things in the real estate industry, and we talk about this when we're actually in transactions, is stay in your lane. And sometimes, from a consumer perspective, they know you, right?
Yes.
Let's
and trust
hey,
you.
they know you, the realtor, they trust you, the realtor. And so they say, well, you told me about Dante, you told me about Todd, Brian, Chuck, whoever, but I only know the realtor 100%. So I'm going to ask you all the questions. And that right there, you have to kind of pivot and be like, hey, that's a great question, but talk to that guy.
Right. And you gotta cultivate that relationship very carefully when you're dealing with someone who is not in our industry, right?
Correct.
So for me, I make it I love to say I sell homes, I don't sell loans. Here's what I believe. However, can you confirm this with Dante to make sure I didn't miss anything? Because laws change all the time.
Sure.
That I'm not keeping up with, but you are, right? So anything that with my heart, my intention is to give you accurate, complete information. However, I'm not perfect and I'm not licensed as a mortgage loan officer. So I want to make sure you're not getting just a quick response from me because I'm trying to be helpful, but could be doing you a disservice because there's details that I might not know about.
Got it. No, that's great. I mean, it's a hard line sometimes because, you may know the whole process, exactly how every step's going to go, but, there's a part of, hey, stay in your lane, do what you do, focus on you. You can say, hey, you're going to have to talk to her on this, and I have a client and he's clear to close, but he's having issues when he went through the walkthrough. The property wasn't, fixed up to, what they had agreed upon. And so, I was giving him, hey, you have a couple options, but well, what about this? You have to talk to your attorney.
Yes.
In Illinois, we're a litigious state, so we have real estate attorneys involved. Down in Florida, there are no real estate attorneys per se. So, you would work with your realtor. Hey, work with your realtor, get this negotiated. And I said, unfortunately, you can't just call the seller directly, Mr. Client. You're going to have to work through these intermediaries that, kind of work on your behalf, but they have your best intention for you. You just have to convey what you want. And sometimes it was funny too, because he was saying, well, they were asking like, how much of a credit do you want, to maybe, to satisfy your pain per se. And so he went, well, what do you think? And it's like, whoa. It's not my decision. It's it has to come from you. What do you want?
What do you need to make this work and comfortable for you? Because everyone's situation and circumstances are different. So the different products also too, like that you may share with someone, you might have someone who may have a different angle or goal. Maybe they're at a space where they're now an investor. So certain products might be a better fit for them versus someone who's intending to make this their primary residence. So there's, you hear people's comments and conversation and thoughts and opinions about different things. And they'll say, oh, I won't ever do a ARM adjusted rate mortgage where it's going up and down. Depends on the product and what you're planning to use it for. There's value in every product. That's why they created it. You just need to know how it was intended to be used and make sure you're using it correctly. Like right now, I know we have situations where it's like a 2-1 buy down, and people are thinking about when a time where adjustable rate mortgages, they were going up and down and people were losing their homes because they didn't have someone who communicated effectively what the product did and how it worked in detail for them to be able to make an informed decision. So when I speak with people, it's better like, okay, this is how it works. Ask me additional questions if you need, but knowing these things, like it started like a 2.9 and then goes a 3.9 and then it locks at a 4.99. And ask the additional questions. It remains that way, locked that way, the duration of the loan, unless of course you refinance or that that loan is sold to another banking institution, etc. But this is how that program works. And knowing that information, it makes you more, gives you wisdom as far as how you would like to move and
Exactly.
make the best decision for you. Because some people that I don't like that, I don't even want to deal with the idea of that. Okay, great. Then we need to focus on getting you a fixed product. Like Dante, you've got a fixed rate mortgage of XYZ that they would be more comfortable with because they don't want or like the idea of their monthly mortgage changing, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when you're new homeowners, stuff that that come into play that aren't as sexy to talk about, but yeah, you have property taxes. That's something Uncle Sam gonna get his money. So it's just something to be mindful of. Okay, get an idea of, okay, especially if it's some established community and you're able to find out what the property taxes look like in that area, that helps you to be able to make a decision too. So
Awesome.
knowing those things, it's just knowing the right questions to ask and partnering with a good realtor who can educate you and that you're comfortable asking questions to.
I agree.
And verify too for yourself. I mean, what they say with the Bible, study to show yourself approved.
There you go.
Trust but verify. Do some research of your own too to add and supplement to what has been shared with you. Pick up a book. They're free. They got the library. It's like you can get the information and just confirm what you've been told or advised. Don't just take it and run with it.
It's such a struggle in that nature. And I see it in so many different industries and so many just walk of lives where we're so busy. They got us on the hamster wheel running around that we really we take it for face value and like try to eyeball it and say, okay, it sounds about right. Let's just roll with it instead of doing that kind of self-evaluation, self-checks, research. And I even get myself caught in there where it's like, no, I gotta dive a little bit deeper. I gotta figure this out,
And ask, what questions am I not asking? Because I like that question when I get that, especially from someone who's looking to buy a home. I would love it when people ask me, what questions am I not asking?
Yeah.
Right. And when they don't ask me, I throw it out to them. So you should be asking me, what am I not asking? What things should I share with you? Or here's my situation and this is what I would like it to look like. What are your thoughts concerning these things? Right. If you know that you come to see me and I know that maybe I'm military and I'm not planning to be here in the next, 5 years, like the product I shared with you earlier, that might be a good fit for you where hey, I'm planning to sell this thing in 3 or 4 or 5 years anyway. So this product may work for me better than another. Same with homes, like, okay, first time buyer. This is your first home, not your last home. So may not, or maybe reconsider going in expecting that you'll get every single thing that's on your wish list, right? Because it's your first home. So there's time for you to level up. So you might be starting here and you'll give yourself time. And if we're smart about it, we can be more strategic as far as the next step. So I'm here right now. This is a 3-bedroom home. It's not the last home. I know that I would prefer a bigger home, but it meets your needs right now. It's close to where you want to be, work, proximity to work, and if you have children, school, and the things that you enjoy doing. Like, look at it from that rather than, hey, I want this home. What I want is maybe, let's say, $500,000, but this $280,000 home fits my budget a lot better than the $500,000 home. Right. And it's in a safe area. I'm not saying go buy no shack or anything like that, but it's in a safe area. It's a brand new home. The pieces fall together because we get that question too. When is a good time to buy? When you're ready. When you said, hey, okay, I'm needing to be in my own space. Every person's timing is different. Like right now, we've got about roughly 5 months of inventory available to us. And the average price point is $400,000 in Jacksonville, Florida. However, I know, working for a builder, I have homes that are less expensive than that. So don't just look at one thing. Also kind of turn some other rocks over. Dig a little bit deeper because don't get scared off of that, what is average, because there's some that are more palatable as far as a price point where you might have heard just one perspective of it. So it's like, let's dig a little deeper, find out more information, ask the questions.
Oh, I love it. Hey, I was able to download this, so let me try to put this on stage with us. And let's see if we can go through some of this. Meritage Homes, Life Built Better. I love it.
Yeah.
And you want to kind of just talk about each
Yeah.
slide as we go through it?
Yeah. When I think about purchasing a home, there's the argument, should I buy new? Should I buy used? A lot of people have the misconception that they have to buy used, or they're thinking that a brand new home is just far out of reach. I know I personally thought that until I got connected with my realtor. I thought that I couldn't get a new home because it was brand new. So it was like, but no, it's homes, and they're brand new homes that are starting at various different price points. So there's advantages to both, and there's downsides to both, depending on your perspective. So I highlighted with new construction, a lot of people, you take advantage of the incentives that are available. Like I mentioned to you, I know that when you've got somebody who's been pre-approved, I know that I have more likely some flex extra cash that can be given to that buyer as an incentive to help them get in the home and make it easier to afford the home. So things can be done with the incentives that we have to help get the rate lower and make it easier. Brand new homes also come with warranties. All of our homes with Meritage, you've got your 10-year structural, your 2-year functional, mechanical, and your 1-year workmanship warranty that comes with the home. And the main thing that separates Meritage is a spray foam insulation. I don't know any other builders, at least within the price point that I'm in, that includes the spray foam insulation. And typically, like, there's one other builder here in the area, Jacksonville, that has spray foam at all, and they only put it in the attic. With Meritage, we put it in our attic as well as all of the exterior walls, which basically means there's energy efficiency that's tied to that spray foam insulation, making sure that you're saving money. It's the easiest way I know how to explain it, because it's keeping your home air conditioned well and heated well, and etc. Appliances are included. That's another thing, depending on the builder. There may be different situations, but Meritage, we include your appliances and your blinds. You don't have to worry about having to go procure or get other things when you move in. It's pretty turnkey, at least our homes are. Realtor partnerships. I heavily partner with realtors to be able to help them with the buyers that they're working with. And it oftentimes turns out to be a better situation with what we have to offer, helping them with closing costs. Sometimes they don't even have to pay anything additional to be able to help them get into their home. Smart home technology, etc.
Yeah.
And I like that we're transparent in pricing. That was something too that sets us apart. It's no guessing. With this builder, my builder, we don't have a design center. The pricing that you see is straightforward. You know what you're going to be paying for a home. You don't have to go to a design center and look back later and find out that you're spending a lot more than what you thought you would.
Got it.
Downside, possibly unknown property taxes, but that's something that could be easily overcome with communicating and ask the questions, especially if the community's been there for a year. We can quickly look that up with the property taxes. With pre-loved homes, used homes, pre-loved homes, people like that, hey, sometimes there's character with them and they're in an established community. Typically, older homes don't have a CDD. That's a different conversation. New construction, it's a toss-up depending on who the builder is and where that home is built and the amenities that are attached to that community, whether or not that would be something that comes into the picture. But it's a great question to ask for those who are first-time buyers. Is this community a community district development community? So, and typically, if there are amenities, they usually do have a CDD. Where are we?
And I love the maps. Just kind of gives me an idea where and what we're selling. So these are the different subdivisions or areas.
Yeah. So there's several different communities. I'm physically located here in Jacksonville, but Palm Coast is about an hour drive for me. So I'm selling and helping realtors and buyers from here to Jacksonville all the way to Palm Coast. And there's
Palm
about
Coast is the bottom south.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 2 communities in Palm Coast. We have Colbert Landing and Flagler Village. Really good price points. They're starting in 3s with those communities. One of the communities has the CDD thing that I mentioned earlier, community district development, where you're paying a little bit more into the establishment of that community, and the other one does not. So, and then
Awesome.
in the little midway section, the Orange Park you see in
Right here.
Fleming Island area, we have our Lakes of Bella Lago community that is in Clay County, not too far from Fleming Island. Primarily it's Green Cove Springs. So that's a really nice community too.
Sure.
A little bit further out, maybe 45 minutes from where I sit right now. And
Okay.
then
Are you up here?
I'm in
Up
Jacksonville, Florida.
the north, the
Yes,
furthest? Okay.
further up north. So there's 4 communities that are within, I'd say 25 minutes of the beach, Jack's Beach. So we've got Arzelia Creek, which is a brand new community. All of those homes are single family homes, 3-car garage, starting at 1,800 square feet. Believe there was some marketing material that we shared, you and I, that was advertising one of the homes that
Yep.
we're looking to get under contract soon. Then we got Cypress Meadows, which is a new community too, that I had one of my buyers who just closed. They were one of the first buyers to close last week. I believe it was the 22nd that they were able to get their keys. So that
Awesome.
feels good.
That's always exciting.
Yeah.
Always. That's super cool. And one thing I talk about with Jacksonville is, in that little, top kind of corner of the state, you guys aren't victims to the hurricanes.
Not much. I mean, not to make light of people who have experienced tragedy. I'm a Florida girl. I've been here pretty much all my life. I think it's maybe one time that I experienced where the lights were out for like 4 days, right? And that's been the worst that I've personally ever experienced. Depending on where you are, and I know where we don't build in an area that has anything outside of flood X. So basically, none of the properties I have are in a zone where it has to have flood insurance. Now, wisdom is going to say, hey, go ahead and get your insurance to protect your investment. But just knowing that you're not being built, your home is not built in an area that requires you to have the flood insurance. Like
Right.
Right.
I mean, I'm trying to do anything to help people save money on their mortgage. So
Yeah,
if we can have a reduction in insurance costs, obviously, because prices have
part.
gone up, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. And we
Right.
have in-house mortgage insurance too. So that kind of helps alleviate some of the concern with pricing too. Because I know at some point there were a lot of insurance companies who are moving out of Florida in general because because of concern of claims and stuff. But we haven't
Sure.
had any issues with anyone being able to secure homeowners insurance.
All right, let me go here. So this kind of breaks down just some of the.
Yeah, this one's really more so for my realtor partners that I love to partner with, and the value in partnering with me as one of your site agents or preferred site agents. We have free lead sharing, so it's not rare that I have partners that I'm helping them with securing leads. So that may mean me, hey, you need to host open house. We can definitely do that. I do home buyer seminars. They can be present in the model with me. Depending on my day, I may ask for a realtor partner to connect with me so that they can be present while I'm out at a meeting, etc. We also have our financial solutions program. That's for both my realtors as well as their buyers. We do soft pools, so it takes a lot of the concern of them trying to find out what their buying power is not going to affect them negatively because
Sure.
it's a soft pool, so that they're able to take advantage of that and confirm what they'll be able to do. And in those rare cases where someone's needing a little help, they have a program that's in place to help them bullet point, these are the things that you need to do to get you to this 620 or whatever the goal is, so
Right.
that they're not flying blind and guessing at what they've got to do to become a homeowner.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have capabilities, just in-house. We can work with people that are 520 credit scores. If they have the 10% down, we can go, 3.5% down once they hit 580. We offer down payment assistance, once you hit 620. So we have different avenues to go just to base on the scenario and what we can do. And obviously we're VA certified. And I love this breaking down just, where are you relative to the military base? Because Jayville does have, is it multiple military bases there?
I know Mayport and NAS are the more popular ones. But
Okay,
yes, we're definitely a military town. I'll say that.
sure.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that. So appreciate all the veterans out there. And no, this is great.
absolutely. Thank you for your service. It's
Yes.
helpful to have those guys. One is missing here. They just opened a new VA clinic on the north side of Jacksonville too. There's a short 20-minute drive. That's not on this. I'll have to come back and update this little sheet here, but it's nice to know where your medical facilities are, groceries and shopping and things of that nature. So I love
Definitely.
to be that partner to help you. Hey, let's narrow it down. You've got someone that you're working with, and these things are important to them. And let me be that partner to help you get them into a home and make sure they're happy with that. And let's do it again.
Awesome. And then, okay, Jacksonville to Palm Coast, we talked about that.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then I'll just kind of
That
get,
just gives you a snapshot because a lot
yeah,
of Meritage is newer to Northeast Florida, but they've been building for over 35 years and they've got some really nice things, especially for a price point. We're starting in the I'll say I start at 270 and I go up from there. And a lot of people are looking to be homeowners. So like, let's have the conversation. What does that look like on paper? Let's talk about the numbers. Let's get together, speak with Dante and myself to find out, hey, this is the home I'm interested in. And Sharde, you said that you have some money to help me get into this home. What does that look like? I'm going to tell you what that is. And I and Dante are going to get together and, okay, on paper, this is what this is looking like. You're looking around $2,000 a month, $2,100 a month. So a lot of people, it helps when you've got the information to be able to know what your next steps need to be. This is just a
awesome.
photo of some of the homes and the interior finishes.
No, beautiful
I,
homes.
yeah, they include really nice things. The appliances are stainless steel, ceramic tile flooring throughout the home. None of these homes are upgraded in the sense that you had to go to a design center after you pick your home. They're coming pretty much turnkey, not pretty much turnkey, with the exception of furniture that you've seen in those photos. Those are homes that we sell. You see one, there's not any furniture in there. That's a realistic photo of a home that is move-in ready and ready to go. You don't have to go to the design center and get to that point where you ended up spending another $50,000 or $60,000 that you didn't expect to spend at a design center because you're trying to make it look like what you see in the photos here.
Awesome. No, no, I appreciate that. Hey, and let me take care of these housekeeping notes.
Yes.
Everyone gets mad if I don't. So, housekeeping notes. This episode today is sponsored by Epic Mortgage. Whether you're buying, investing, or refinancing, call Epic today, 708-905-5300, 708-905-5300. It's your dreams, your goals. Let's plan together. Now, if you need a blueprint, if you need a step-by-step playbook for turning your mortgage into a wealth building machine, then you need to buy my book. It is out on Amazon. It's the Ultimate Mortgage Guide. Check it out on Amazon.com. It's the Ultimate Mortgage Guide. After the show today, please go to our YouTube channel and check out our most recent Epic Spotlight interview. It's with Brandon, Mr. Finance Ellington. Unlock the secrets to building real wealth with Brandon. In this exclusive interview, Brandon reveals the proven strategies that's turned his family's real estate hustle into generational wealth. Discover the biggest misconceptions about getting rich and how to leverage credit and passive income, and the exact steps you can take starting today to become a millionaire. Whether you're just starting out or looking to scale your investments, this video is has impact on you with actionable advice, insider tips, and inspiring stories you won't want to miss. So after this show today, make sure you check out the most recent Epic Spotlight podcast on our YouTube channel. Now, we do have preferred listings. Let's go over our preferred listings. We have 6945 South Dorchester Avenue, Unit 2S, Chicago. It's a condo going for $149. contact Evelyn Wood, 773-718-9742. We have 548 East 50th Street, Unit 3. It's in Chicago. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath condo going for $269,900. Contact Jessica Roberson at 708-518-8120. We have 2030 East 72nd Place, Unit 3D, Chicago, Illinois. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath condo going for $109,000. Evelyn Wood, 773-718-9742. And then we have 16029 Circle Drive, Markham, Illinois. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath house going for $109,900. Contact Keith Terry at 773-655-1360. And these are the two that you told me about. And it's so nice to finally say we have preferred listings and we have the listing agent here. We have 12673 Sim Bay Court, Jacksonville, Florida, 374,990. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath. Contact Sharde Nix, 904-520-8041. And we have 12707 Sim Bay Court, Jacksonville, Florida. Go for $378,990. It's another 4-bed, 3-bath. And make sure you contact Sharde. Now, do you have an email address or more contact information for everyone?
Absolutely. It's my first name, Sharde, Sharde, and then period. And my last name is short and sweet, Nix, Nix, at meritagehomes.com. So Sharde.Nix at meritagehomes.com.
Awesome. Now, we did get some questions along the way, so I want to take some time to answer some of these questions. Appreciate the audience. As always, we have 580 people listening to us right now. So super cool for everyone, taking a little lunch break with us. If you have questions, make sure you put them in the comments. Really appreciate everyone listening in. So let's start here. What should first-time buyers watch out for when buying a new build?
I would say number one, I work for the builder. When you come into a model, first, make sure you have your realtor with you. That is the number one thing I will say. I've been doing this for over 8 years. It does not cost you anything as a buyer to have representation. So when you go into a model, any builder, make sure you have your realtor partner with you or your realtor representing you and with you, or at least at the very least have the conversation. And a lot of people, especially my buyers, they'll say, well, I just didn't want to bother them. Bother them. That is why we get compensated. And they may not share this with you. I'll share it with you from working for the builder. When you go in without your realtor, you jeopardize their compensation, right? And as quiet as it's kept, if you don't know anyone close enough where you're able to be on this side of things, with what we do as professionals, especially realtors, myself included, we do not get compensated until you've closed. And I said that to say, if they've taken the time to work with you through your credit challenges and showing you homes and getting you ready in the time, you don't get your time back as a realtor. Realtors do not get a salary. They don't have a gas card. They don't have a base salary. So there's a lot of misunderstandings. So understand that your realtor is volunteering until you've closed on your home. So do them the courtesy to be loyal. If you're working with someone, communicate with them. And if it's not working out with them, let them know that if you feel that that relationship can be salvaged. If not, be respectful enough for them to them and yourself to say, hey, it's not working. I'm going to go in a different direction. Just like you don't volunteer, you don't go to your employer and not expect to get compensated. Be mindful that that's their time and their money because they're spending out gas money and time to be able to help you. So just be mindful that, yes, you need to, in my opinion, you can do it on your own, but you can represent yourself in the court of law too. But is that wisdom? Right? So with realtors, just be mindful. You don't have to come out of pocket to pay them. We as the builders, we're compensating them for new construction. So I would say start with that. Communicate with your realtor. Let them know, hey, I'm interested in these areas. What resources do you have or who do you know working for that builder, and make that connection first and include them with the communication. A lot of people think that just because they go with new construction that they'll get a better deal if they don't have representation. That's not always the case. So I know for us, Meritage Homes, I partner heavily with my realtor partners, and I want you to have representation. Someone who is, quote unquote, on your side to help you through this transaction, right?
Awesome. I appreciate you saying that. All right, next one. How do interest rates affect new construction buyers compared to resale buyers?
The incentives. The
Yeah.
main thing, our goal is to, at least I know, yeah, every builder I've worked for, and this is, I've been with a few, from what we call production builders to semi-custom builders, the main thing is the incentives. We have money that can help the buyer get into the home. If they have in-house financing, that's a conversation to be had too. That's when you see it advertised, etc. And usually there's terms and conditions that come into picture. For example, with Dante, we are partnering together, especially for people who I know that I may not be able to get them pre-approved through my in-house lender because we require 640 to do that. But I know that I'll go to Dante. Hey, Dante, I've got someone that's 600 that is ready to be in their home. What can we do? So I'm going to say, hey, here's the money that you can use to get into your home. Connect with Dante, and we'll communicate how much money I can give to you to find out what that looks like for you. And Dante will take it from there. Hey, I know market rate is here, but I'll be able to use this 30,000 or 20,000 or what have you to buy down that interest rate to get it to be lower, which in turn makes your monthly mortgage lower and easier to maintain.
Awesome.
Whereas, I'm sorry, in comparison to resale, you're at the mercy of whatever they're doing. So, yeah.
Are HOA fees typically higher in new construction communities?
Not necessarily. It kind of depends. And I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I have homes where homeowners associations where it's as little as $47 a month. Typically, you'll see it a little bit higher, and there's confusion where they're confusing CDD versus HOA. So it just really depends. So homeowners associations as low as $47 a month. I've seen it as high as $100 a month. And for my personal communities, the highest I have is $115, but that's both an HOA and a CDD together that I've communicated per month is what they're looking at.
Awesome. And
Good
then
question.
let me see. Yeah, that was. Let's see. Great episode. I'm taking notes. We'll appreciate
Thanks,
that, right? And then it said, should investors consider new construction for rental properties?
Absolutely. Yes. There's more opportunity for growth, especially when it's a brand new community. There's likelihood that builders will have price adjustments or price increases. If you get in on the front end, that's a really great time to get in and give that property time to build some equity. So yes.
What I thought was interesting, you said was house hacking.
Yeah.
So we do house hacking, or we talk about house hacking up in Chicago, and we have a lot of what are called multi units.
Mhm.
Where they're like duplexes, triplexes in your neck of the woods. We call them flats, because basically they're just, a flat line. They're normally not up and down. So we'll
Right.
call it a 2 flat, a 3 flat, a 4 flat. But nonetheless, it's living in one of the units and then you
Yes.
rent out the other units. But I love how you brought up room rents. And because that is a thing
Yeah.
that it seems like, not my generation, but it seems like the younger generation are comfortable with, like, hey, if I got a 4-bedroom house, man, every room has a different life, a different
Yep.
story. And if I can get $500 a month from the other 3, that's
Just $500.
$1,500.
It is. Listen, okay. I was looking out of 𝐒𝐿𝐍𝐿, the least expensive apartment I've heard of was around $1,200 a month for a 1-bedroom.
Wow.
It's like,
Wow.
Yeah.
So you get a 4-bedroom house and you rent it out. I'll be conservative for easy numbers, $1,000 per unit. I'm getting $3,000 a month from 3
And your mortgage is probably lower than
different
that,
people
especially
other
if
than
you're working with me.
myself.
Yeah.
If I'm buying even yeah,
We
I'm
partner
buying a
together, so
$300,000 to
your mortgage is lower than
$400,000
that.
house.
Yes. And you're able to rent. I've actually advised, I have
Yes,
a 9-year-old son. I've advised him, hey, go ahead and buy a home and rent out those rooms. Make it a 4-bedroom. Yeah. And rent out those other rooms, especially college age students. It's like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, so yeah, I really haven't thought about the house hack on the single family. That's something that you said today that really, wow, okay.
It
All
is,
right.
yeah, I wish I had done that. But yeah, why not? You need a place to stay. You're going to be renting somewhere. Why not, instead of wasting money on campus? Again, yes, there's validity in getting your whole experience for college, but why not take advantage of that opportunity while you're young? Go ahead and buy that home, rent out the rooms, and put that money, any extra, toward principal. Get that home. Yes, just yes, all of it,
Got
all
it.
of the things.
Shout out to Matricia. Thank you for listening today. But yeah, she agrees. Wow, that I mean that's a great opportunity indeed. So thinking of house hacking not on just multi-unit levels, on single family levels as well.
Absolutely.
What let me ask you just Florida. I'm trying to get more familiar. What about ADUs? Are you seeing more ADUs around?
I've heard of them, and I know that they have to be. I don't have access to the multiple listing service because my license is hung with my builder. But I
Sure.
know recently that they've made an adjustment. While now that is a feature where they can search realtors. My realtor partners can search specifically for ADUs. So they've got to be becoming more popular here in Jacksonville. So
That'll be interesting as well. Additional dwelling units. If you have, let's say an acre or 2 acres of land, if you can get that much space, we see it in Georgia a lot. Georgia has that space, and people are, trying to build that one bed little house, little nook in the backyard, and using that as a way to house hack per se. So I love everyone's coming up in different regions, different states, different ways to how can I make this money? How can I, live comfortably with obviously rising prices? And it's just creative ways to think. What
And
else?
you just made me think about, I had a friend of mine who actually literally let me know he's going to be doing that, building another living space in the back of his property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a thing. I saw it on a show and I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. We have a difficulty in Chicago to do something like that because we're already
Land.
packed in.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
land.
yeah, we lack the we lack land unless you're gonna go further out, um,
I love it.
past
I
a
said,
certain area.
it's like he stopped making land. All the land he gonna make, he already made it. So
Yeah. No. Oh, Matricia just wrote some, so I think this you got a connection already. Um, she was on our show last week, so she
yes.
just recently got her Florida license. She's a realtor.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So
Let's connect.
definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
Find me on
Yeah.
LinkedIn and my phone number. Yes. Reach out to me. Let's find out how we can do some business together. I'm gonna give myself a little shout out. 904-520-8041. Text me and let's connect.
All right, I know she will. I know she will. So there's your connection, Matricia, for listening. That way you can work together. We got some beautiful new construction homes with Meritage Homes, right in Jacksonville, Florida. Love to get, and she's got an investor retreat. She
Yes.
has an investor retreat coming, so hopefully maybe an investor. Now,
Absolutely.
how common do you see investors buying new construction? Is that a common thing?
It is. It's, as long as I've been in this business, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I know the first builder I was working with, they sold about 10 homes, 10 of the properties to investors. Now verify, because different builders, depending on where, there's usually a limit as far as how many homes can be sold to investors to protect the value of the property for the homeowners. So
Is that a fear? Does that affect evaluation?
not typically, not that I've seen it
Hmm.
affecting people, but it's a valid question to ask. If you had a community where it's 100% renters, the thought process is maybe they don't care as much about the property as someone who actually owns the home. So that being something to consider, that more likely is the reason why they have a cap or a limit as far as how many investors they'll allow in certain communities. So it's a
Got it.
good question, a valid question to ask.
Yeah, if a community had, let's say 15 homes and 10 of them are being rented, I may not want to move my family there. So
Right.
it could affect the valuation.
Exactly.
Interesting. All right, what else did we miss? I mean, we're getting to an hour. We did it. Appreciate you. We had a little tech issue, but we figured it out. Go Apple. Apple. It was
Yes,
Team Apple today.
it is.
Team Apple did
is.
it, got us back on track. So anything that we missed, anything that you want to cover? I mean, it was great.
I partner heavily with realtors, so and my mortgage loan officers such as yourself, Dante. So I appreciate the partnership. My goal is to reach more realtor partners that I can help you with your buyers. A lot of realtors that I've ran into, depending on their experience, they may have had a bad experience. I'm here to help. Let's both make money together. So let me know what you need from me to help you with you and your buyers to become more successful. If it's helping with lead generation, I'm pretty good with social media. Just let me know how I can help you accomplish your goal. Same with buyers. I'm happy to help, wanting to help with you as well. Let's get connected. If you don't have a realtor partner, I know some really good ones. So just reach out to me and we can get connected and find out what you need from me. Maybe you're a little bit further out and you know, hey, Sharde, I've got some work I need to do. Reach out to me and we can figure it out from there. Don't forget about the financial solutions program that I mentioned earlier. I've got several people who are in that program who are making traction to get to their goal of home ownership.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that flexible cash that we can use to kind of, work these numbers and make it happen for people
Yes.
where it doesn't have to be so daunting task. So,
Right.
yeah, any buyers out there, if you are needing to get pre-approved for a mortgage, please contact 708-905-5300. I'm Dante Royster with Epic Mortgage. I'm here to help you. I'd love to get you in a home in Simbay Court, Jacksonville, Florida. And they have quite a few that are out there. So beautiful location. A great, hey, I mean, Jacksonville Jaguars are doing well. So, I mean,
yes, they won their last game. I'm so happy about that. Hopefully, Hunter will make sure it's, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure everyone's buzzing right now. Hey, they doing okay.
A lot of buzz. So, yeah.
I hear it. Well, Duval County, I say hello. Duval. Yes, indeed. I'm familiar. So, no, hey, appreciate you today. You were great. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday, for our next episode of Epic Lunch and Learn. I don't remember my roster, so I know there's someone going to be with me tomorrow. But
sure
appreciate Sharde Nix. Love to have you come back on, when time permits. And yeah, just wanted you to have an epic day.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Take care.